Welcome to the Coachzing Show, offering you the latest creative content marketing tips to help you work less, earn more, and help more people. Are you a coach zinger yet? Join the community where the world's best coaches, therapists, authors, and speakers come to discover the latest industry trends and partner with other like-minded professionals. Go to coachzing.com/community to join. And now, here's your host, Doug Foresta.
Hello, welcome back to the Coachzing Show. This is your host, Doug Foresta. This is a show we help you, coaches, therapists, speakers, and authors to work less, earn more, and help more people through creative content marketing. My guest today is David Long, and I know you'll get a lot out of this episode. Say a little bit about David to bring him right on. David is the founder, CEO of MyEmployees, a 25-year firm in the top 1% worldwide in the employee engagement and recognition industry. His firm specializes in helping managers build stronger, more engaging relationships with their team members while linking the rewards and recognition program to the desired goals of their company. David believes and lives to his very core what Zig Ziglar said was required to become truly successful in life, that you can have anything you want in life if you first help others get what they want. As a result, he's helped touch untold lives through the years, including employees, clients, friends, and family. And he'll show you exactly how he did it. In this book, he has a new book, and you can go to top10manager.com. That's top10manager.com, and check out Built to Lead, 7 management reward principles for becoming a top 10% manager. The Built to Lead is all about get in the trenches, no hold bars discussion about maximizing your ability to have an amazing management career. It tackles head on the lies that you've been told about how to reach the top in your company and shows you what really works. And again, you can go to top10manager.com. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce David Long. David, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Doug. I'm happy to be here with you today.
Thank you. So, yeah, I was really interested. We were chatting a little bit before we got started, and there's so much connection really between, to me, content marketing is really about communication, and certainly leadership is about communication. And you were mentioning before that, maybe let's start with this, that a lot of our listeners are coaches. And let me ask you this question, kind of as a leading question here. Do you think that coaches need to know about leadership?
Oh man, absolutely. Especially if they're going to counsel leaders of companies. Yes, they most definitely need to know about leadership.
Yeah. So I'm really, like I said, I'm really excited. Again, I know you have a new book, Built to Lead, and you talk about the rewards principles of becoming a top 10% manager. So maybe you can just start with, I'm really curious about maybe you can say a little bit about what the rewards principles are.
Sure. Absolutely. Rewards actually in the title, the book, of course, the book's Built to Lead, you said, and then the subtitle is 7 Management Rewards Principles for Becoming a Top 10% Manager. And rewards is an acronym. And the very first letter is R, of course, and that stands for recon, or in what they call in the military is recon, but reconnaissance. And basically what that means is if you know about Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, he talks about having the right people in the bus. Well, we talk about having the right people on your team, because it doesn't matter how good you are if you have the wrong person on your team. Think of it like a car. If you've got 4 tires and one of them gets flat, everybody stops. Everybody pulls over to the side of the road. So if you have 4 managers and one of them's not pulling their weight and doing the job like they should, it destroys the credibility and the function of the team as a whole. So I always talk about making sure you have the right management team first, and secondary after that is when you find out, you go with each manager. You sit down with each manager, each department manager, each department head, that thing. When you talk about the people in their department and you say, how's Bill doing? Is he good? Is he a constant pain in the backside? Maybe we should, if we can't fix him, fire him. Plain and simple. Sometimes, sometimes this sounds a little crude, but you're never going to turn a turd into a brownie, right?
I like that.
I don't care. And you know what? You can polish a turd all you want to, but it's never going to be anything other than a turd. So some people they're inherently going to be negative, and they are going to hurt your team as a whole. Now, if somebody's going through personal problems, I'm not talking about that, Doug. I'm talking about people who are habitually a pain in the backside.
Right.
So, you fix them or fire them, and that's recon. And you do that with each person on each department head's team, and you figure out where you're from there. Because think about it. If you got the wrong people, and you're like a rocket taking off from a launch pad, And if you get up a little bit, but, oh no, you got the wrong person, they cause you to come back down. And you go back up again and you haven't solidified your base of your people to make sure everybody's doing their job right, the rocket will never really fully take off. And you will always suffer from having a mediocre career. And that doesn't matter whether you're a manager, a coach, a writer. It doesn't matter. If you're not going to be doing the right things at all the time, during all the time, you're not going to be successful. And the second thing after recon is education. And by that, I don't mean everybody goes to school. I'm talking about that. Here's what I do. I buy books and I pass them out to my 48 employees that we have. And everybody, I say, read chapter 1 and come back in here next week. I split the company up into Wednesday morning at 10 and Thursday morning at 10. And for example, we bought Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And I pass that out. Everybody reads it. They come in, we discuss it. Now think about this, Doug. You got 48 people, but everybody has different lives. Everybody has different stories.
Right.
So yes, we all read the same chapters. So you might hear some redundancy, but you'd be surprised how little there really is, because we all look at things that we read through our own prism, if you will, based on our life. You know, and after that book, after we went through that, I had 3 of my employees come up to me and tell me, Dave, that book really saved my marriage. We had a young lady who was actually separated from her husband, and she came up to me almost with tears in her eyes, Doug, and she said, that book showed me that I have been the problem. I am selfish. And she said, I was the problem 100%. It's such a sweet husband, and I'm being a schmuck. And today they're back together and going strong. Wow. And that really probably wouldn't have happened. They probably would have ended up getting divorced if they had not read that book. So that's what we do with book clubs. And I mean to tell you, when I tell you, Doug, that book club I created a decade ago, and all the books and everything we've done, the DVDs and videos and courses and things like that, have literally made me millions of dollars. And there's not a coach out there that can't learn from that in my book. And we talk about how we do it in the process. And they can take that and apply that to the people they're working with in who they're coaching. And my goodness, you will turn their business and their lives around. It has made me millions, and I'm not using that. It's not an exaggeration at all.
That's just the results that you've had from
absolutely. It. Yeah. I'm completely debt free, and I'm, very, very blessed. Good gracious. And we did $9 million in business last year. And I started this business, MyEmployees.com, in my mom and dad's garage 25 years ago in a 5-foot by 5-foot spot. So, I do know a few things. Actually, in my career, Doug, I've actually become a top 10% manager in 3 separate unrelated industries in my 35-year management career. So when you can get someone's knowledge like that in the book, it's crazy not to, because it's peanuts.
Well, that's
great. Go ahead.
That's a great. When you think about a content strategy, you're basically you're building everything around, this book club.
Yep.
And like you said, it's transforming people's lives.
Oh man, I could tell you stories for hour on hour, hour after hour, days, and tell you what's happened with that. It's just been amazing. But anyway, the third letter, if you will, in my acronym, which is, you've got R, and then E was education, and then W, winners emerge. During the course of our book clubs, Doug, we had, for example, we asked ourselves, not ourselves people, we ask all of our people who would like to lead book clubs. Typically it's myself if I'm in town, or one of my other management team. And when we asked that, one of the guys in our company who's the most introverted employee we have, his name is Josh. And Josh told my COO that he would be interested in doing it. And I'm not going to kid you, Doug. When I heard that, I said, Josh, are you kidding me? Because, these guys, he's just really, really quiet. So I said, I got to be there for that one. So I made sure I was there. Probably put a little more pressure on the kid, but anyway. But it was funny because he's standing up in the front of the group and he's got his book in his hand, and literally, Doug, it's shaking. You know what? He did a phenomenal job. You could tell he was prepared. And he wasn't boring at all. He led the conversation in a phenomenal way. And I was just so proud of him. And you know what? I never would have seen that if I had not have developed the book club a decade ago. So that's really awesome. So that's where you get the opportunity for winners to emerge, which is the 3rd letter. The 4th letter in rewards is attitude. And my dad passed away last year, but for 55 years, he was a Baptist pastor. And he used to say earlier on in the years, I remember him saying to me, he said, Dave, your attitude is like a prism that you look through, or a piece of glass. And he said that if you look through it and it's clear. Everything you see through it, Doug, is clear. But if you drop it in the mud and you pick it back up and look through it again, if you can see through it, everything you see through it is cloudy and dirty. And that's what your attitude means. So if you've got, and I mentioned this in the recon aspect, if you have people who have bad attitudes all the time, think back to Michael Jackson's song when he was a part of the Jackson 5. One bad apple spoils a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So do not tolerate that on your team. And coaches especially, that's one thing that they can make sure, and it's an easy fix when they go over the personnel of their clients. And that's something critical. You can only build on a solid foundation, and that's your people. So that's your attitude, how huge that is. And the next R, the second R in rewards, is recognition. And that's what our company does. So you'd expect me to do that. But let me tell you how powerful recognition is. 65%, according to Gallup organization, of employees said that they had received no recognition from their manager in the last year. 65% in a year. That is atrocious.
That's staggering.
It is. It's pathetic. And how in the world can you show your people that they matter to you if you don't show them that they do?
Right.
The number one thing we want, all of us, I don't care who it is they want to be seen and shown that they are significant. So if I don't get my significance from you as my employer, I'm going to go somewhere else. And speaking about that, 47%, this is also from Gallup, 47% of your best people, Douglas, are looking to leave you to go somewhere where they're going to receive recognition. And that is powerful. I remember back when I started the company in 1989, there was a little blurb in the Wall Street Journal. You know that little column in the middle where they have these little dinky paragraphs?
Yes.
Well, one of those it said is that 4 out of 5 employees said they would switch companies, Doug, for the same pay if they knew they were going to receive praise and recognition in the new company. And that's powerful.
That is.
But 47% of your best people are looking to leave you now. Not your worst, your best. And the reason they're looking to leave a manager is because they're not getting the recognition they feel they deserve and should get. And every manager just about out there, you've heard of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. And the typical company, they spend 80% of their time on their troublesome employees, their weak performers. And they lose, in so many cases, their top people because they showed them no time. They give them nothing to invest in them to make them stronger and make them a better employee, a better salesperson, a better leader, whatever it is. So that is the recognition aspect. And that's, of course, that's what we do. MyEmployees is what I said. So we can help with that if anybody wants to, any help with that. We're very successful in the top 1% in our industry. In the U.S. and Canada, we have 12,000 active clients, by the way. Strong ones. We have like 2,000 Walmarts. We have FedEx Ground. Tons of restaurants like Outbacks, Chart House Restaurant, Morton's, that kind of thing. And we have even retirement communities. So we got that covered. All right. And the next one after that in the rewards acronym is the D, which stands for duplication. The duplication, what that means is when I'm sitting in my managers meetings, it's not uncommon for me to ask one of my managers just out of the blue, Doug, who in your department, God forbid something happens to you, Doug, but who in your department do you feel would be the right person to take your place? Or in another department that you feel would be the right person to take your place. And you have to tell me that. Now here's 2 reasons and 2 thoughts going through your mind. If you're a weak manager, you're like, what does he want to replace me for? But if you're a strong manager, you're going to I know that they want to continue to build a world-class team, which is what we have, by the way, at our company. And my managers are not intimidated when I ask that. If I have a problem with my managers, I always tell them. It's not anything they have to guess. I let them know, hey, you're kind of slipping on this area. Tighten up here. Let's go. And they know I have their best interests at heart, and I'm immensely loyal to my people. And my people, as a result, are immensely loyal to me. And that duplication is you have to tell me who it is in your department that you feel is the right person to take your place or another management spot if it came open. And then right behind that, I say, what are you doing to develop them? Period. You have to be able to tell me, okay, I've got them reading a book. If you're not developing your people, you're failing as a manager. And if you're a coach, if you're not developing your clients, you're not going to have them very long. You've got to have success. They have to see the bar being moved forward or the ball being moved forward, whichever. And the
Yeah.
last one after duplication is success in the rewards acronym. Now, success means a lot of things to a lot of people, but, and they always say that it's money. In my book, I talk about the guy that won $314 million, I think at the time, the largest lottery in the history of the United States. And this guy was actually a multimillionaire when he won. He had a company with roughly 100 employees, very successful, he's happily married and everything else. Well, he had a granddaughter who was the apple of his eye. And he spoiled her and he loved her and she was working some little menial job somewhere. Anyway, when he won the money, he said, you can quit your job. And she dropped out of school and everything else. And he bought her 3 or 4 cars and gave her like $2,000 a week spending money. Make a long story short, his granddaughter actually ended up having a drug overdose. And that broke his heart. Well, his marriage fell apart. His other daughter abandoned him. She ended up dying. I mean, it was terrible. I mean, his whole life just about fell apart because he got what everybody else out there said they want. They want to win the lottery. They dream of that. And I remember on ABC's 2020, they had it talking about him on that show one time. And I remember as they interviewed the old guy, he said the worst thing that ever happened to me is winning the lottery, winning that check, because it radically and just destroyed his life. He was happy. He was successful. He had purpose. He had meaning. Everybody and their dog was suing him, trying to get money out of him. He had to hire somebody just to handle the legal people who were suing him for various things. So, I mean, that's a terrible life. So, like I said, you want to be careful what you ask for. And that is not success, my friend. Success is, I'll give you a good, strong example of success. 2 Christmases ago, I guess 3 Christmases ago now, my employees gave me a wooden chest. And in the chest, this is part of my Christmas present. And my birthday, by the way, is Christmas Eve. So we have our company Christmas party, and they always present my Christmas gift and my birthday gift when we're at the party. Well, they gave me this chest, and inside of it, every one of my employees had handwritten out what I have meant to their lives. And man, I can't read through 2 or 3 of those without tearing up, because that, my friend, is success.
Yeah.
Is impact, is legacy of what you leave in the world, not the crap you buy with the money you win or whatever. You know, whether you earn it or not, you know, that's not ultimately success. Success is the feeling that you have in your heart that you're making a difference, a positive difference in the lives of others, in my opinion, anyway.
Well, speaking of impact, I mean, you have this book that's, you have this book that's launched. It's, I know you said, the book, of course, is Built to Lead, 7 Management Rewards Principles for Becoming a Top 10% Manager. And I know that at least for a day, you got ahead of Dale Carnegie, one of your favorite books, right?
Yeah. As yesterday, we're doing a big marketing push, and my book was actually number 1 in leadership books in all of Amazon. And right now, it's actually, as of last night, it was 174th out of every book on Amazon. So that's pretty good. So, we have that. And if people by the way, I was talking to you about this.
Yes.
If people buy the hardback copy and send me an email at davidlong@top10manager.com, I'll send them the Kindle version, which sells for $10 normally. I'll send that to them for free because I want them to read the book. But there's also a little promo going on right now because we're doing a marketing push. We dropped the Kindle version at 99 cents. So if you can get something that is my 35-year career that has turned into multimillionaire, I mean, I don't mean this one to sound arrogant. Now, please don't think that. But I'm in the top 1% of income earners in the United States. And everything that I write about in the book is what's caused me to be successful.
I'm really curious for you what this book means for you. Like, I wanted you to share the rewards principles because it just made sense to do that. I wanted our listeners to be able to hear it. So I'm really curious about what this book means to you, about what does it mean to you to get this book out into the world? I'll
tell you why I wrote the book, if that's what you really want to know.
Sure.
I wrote the book because, for World at Work survey, and I mentioned this in the book in the first or second chapter, World at Work survey said that for every 100 employees in any given company, approximately 6 or 7 of those people will become a manager. That's it. And of those 6 or 7 people, Doug, less than 1 will ever be promoted again. So there's a massive failure rate within managers. And they don't get it right. Of course, according to Gallup, 70% of managers are disengaged. or actively disengaged in their companies. So how in the world can they expect to have engaged employees and successful employees if you don't have engaged managers? So, I mean, you are, as the leader of the company, the driving force, the vision, the Energizer bunny, if you will, to make everything move. And if you're not a very successful and driven individual, you cannot expect your people to be that way either. So I wrote the book because of the massive failure rate. It was very frustrating when we would have a client manager who got promoted to another location. The new person coming in automatically canceled our program without even giving it a chance. That made no sense to me. So then I started doing the research and I found out that the vast majority of managers fail. Why? Because they make stupid decisions. That's why. I mean, when you do that, let's say it was a restaurant manager. They didn't go in and change the dishes, the carpeting, the furniture, but they stopped the recognition program. I mean, that makes no sense. So I said, I got to figure out what these guys are thinking. And then that's when I found out statistics of how many of them fail. 70% roughly of employees are disengaged. So why would you expect any different from your management team? Yeah. They're the driving force. What do you get? You get what you give. Loyalty, my man, comes first from the manager to the people. How in the world can you ever show them that they matter to you if you aren't loyal to them? You can't expect them to be loyal to you.
Very powerful, really powerful. And, that I love that you found something that bothered you. You found something, this is something you're passionate about and something that bothered you. And I think that's sort of the best. That's how we know what we need to share with the world is the stuff that really gets under our skin. And this got under your skin. I mean, I can tell when you share it.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. It's frustrating. I'm amazed, just like I was talking about, how you can get a book. And the average American doesn't read a book a year, which boggles my mind.
Yeah.
This blows me away. I mean, I read 3 to 4 hours every day, even when I'm on vacation. That's just the way I am. I like to learn new things to share with my people. And I only roughly share 10% of what I learn with my people. Right. I can't take all their time. They're there to do the job.
Right. Right.
So, but I really never work in my company anymore. I only work on it. I'm only in my office roughly 7 hours a week. So can people learn something from a guy who's only in his office 7 hours a week? Okay. Well, maybe yes. Okay. How about a guy who takes off 22 to 24 weeks a year now? Matter of fact, when I say take off, I mean, I leave town. I have a successful, very strong, world-class team in place. I don't have to babysit. I've groomed them all myself and over the years, and they're very loyal to me. They do a phenomenal job. So I don't have to babysit them. I also incentivize everybody. So if they goof off when I'm gone, they shoot themselves in the foot. So, these are things that I talk about and I teach within my book.
And of course, my guest today again is David Long. The book is Built to Lead, 7 Management Rewards Principles for Becoming a Top 10% Manager. David Long, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing such great content with us.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate the opportunity once again.
Thank you. So thanks everyone for listening. I do encourage you to go to top10manager.com and go ahead and get the book. And if you're a coach, like I said, you really do need to know about leadership if you're working with leaders. So it is an important topic. Until next time, remember, we'll be back Monday through Friday with more great guests helping you to work less, earn more, and help more people. This is Doug Foresta at the Coachzing Show.
Thanks for listening to the Coachzing Show. Need help getting your book out of your head and onto paper? Need help marketing your books or speaking engagements? We can do it for you. Go to Coachzing.com to learn more. Are you a Coach Zinger yet? Join the Coach Zingers community where the world's best coaches, therapists, authors, and speakers meet. You'll get exclusive access to private mastermind calls where you can get instant marketing help from industry experts. Plus, we'll help you forge deals and partnerships with other like-minded professionals. Go to Coachzing.com/community to join now.